It's interesting. I've literally fully detached. I didn't even watch the films. It wasn't until I decided to come back that I felt like I was able to get myself to watch the movies. It's nothing against the filmmakers or anything like that. And I think it was such a to me it was such a personal choice when I left, and so it was no ill will. I think it was more of an emotional connection I had with not only the actors, the characters, but and the crew, and um, so yeah, when I left, I felt a sense of accomplishment because I think when I started, Fast and Furious was not Fast and Furious today. The level of engagement globally with people was not, and so it did feel like doing four of these films, it really we were able to evolve it and build something special. But at the same time, I also felt like I kind of grew up built, making these movies. I needed to go try other things. So it was there's no ill will, but it was always weird. It wasn't gosh, it was weirder when I came back because there were like Ramsey as an example. Like that was a character that I was talking about, that was gonna potentially join, and then she didn't join under my watch. So she actually so it was weird meeting up with Natalie saying, "Wow, like I was talking about this character, then I left, and then you existed, and now I'm meeting back up with you." Um,
Yeah.
but it's great. Like again, I feel so fortunate, because even when I left, I would get a call. Like I was in the Star Trek cutting room, and Vin would call me and talk about Dom for 2 hours, and I was like, I had to like, it was great talking to him, and talking about Dom, but I kept thinking, but I'm out, I'm not doing this anymore. But I think Vin's always like, 10 steps ahead of me. And I think part of it is that, even though I was away, I never felt like I was fully away in a good sense, And so, when the right idea came, I called in, I called the studio, and it was like, it was as if nothing like changed. We just got right back and we continued our journey. Yeah, it's interesting because I think as a filmmaker, there's not like a handbook on like how do you make movies, and so when I came up through the independent cinema, and to me it was just like whatever is necessary you do, and I think that's part of the fun, that's part of the joy you get out of trying to get something from your head to screen, and so that's always been the process, and I obviously have grown and evolved, and so I don't really know any other way to do it. I think I hear a lot of times where filmmakers say, I make one for me and I make one for them, and I don't know, like I have a hard time if I'm gonna make one for them. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to me if it's like a TV show or a tentpole or indie. It's like when I sign up, I want to jump in. Like there's nothing better than like being so immersed in something, and building it and having all these conversations. And for me, that's what I get addicted to. And I think, I joke with Vin and Michelle and Sung a lot because we all came from the indie world and we're like, God, I think we're pulling off the ultimate heist. We're making these big budget indie movies, really, and that's when you look at
Yeah.
the process, that's kind of what we're doing. Yeah, there's something about I think coming up, and I'll use the Fast Five as an example with the vault sequence because when that was on in the script, everybody was like the very like consensus was like you do this VFX, and I thought, well, do we really have to, And I think that was the light bulb moment for us, and we went and built a frame and had two cars, and within like an hour, just seeing the kind of the energy that was generating, it was taking out sidewalks, and there was something that was like so visceral that you can react to that I think even in a VFX simulation, it cannot duplicate, because VFX, I mean, it's an amazing tool, but it's also math, and so there's just something about practical when there's so many variables that it almost feels like it's defying physics for a split moment that I think you cannot create. And that's become kind of our formula in how we tell our stories. And I think it's very unique, especially you're looking at the big budget franchise where everything has kind of leaned towards VFX. I feel like it's our duty, especially doing what we're doing, to always create a process where we have reference. We always start practical, and that's how we start the conversation.